Assalamualaikum. Welcome to online class. This is Sharfaz Ahmed, lecturer, Department of Accounting, Tongi Government College, Gazipur. Today I will discuss about activity-based costing part 2, which is entitled to Management Accounting, and this lecture is apted for honors third year. Okay, let's start. Okay, now I will discuss about steps of accounting activity based costing. That means what are the steps of ABC costing. So as you know that ABC costing is a supplemental method of cost accounting, actually that provides the decision making information which is absent from traditional costing methods. When ABC costing is not limited by business units boundaries, it can not fulfill supplant traditional costing methods, since it often fails to meet financial reporting requirements for business. Actually, it focuses on cost contribution to production of a product. Actually, it doesn't attribute other general costs that do not have at least indirect relationship to the product. While traditional costing systems focus on direct cost and burden a product with other fixed cost, activity-based cost that increases accuracy of indirect cost assignment. Okay, step number 1, activity identification. First, activities must be identified and grouped together in activity pool. As we know that activity pool are the supporting activities that tie in to a product line or service. These pools or buckets may include fractionally assigned cost of supporting activities to individual products as appropriate during the second step. So the second step is activity analysis. As we know that ABC cost carries on with activity analysis, clearly identifying the processes which support a product and avoiding some of the systematic inaccuracies of traditional costing. ABC costing requires activity analysis similar to the process mapping found in lean manufacturing. This activity analysis identifies indirect cost relationships and allows assignments of some percentage of that activity to an end product directly. And then step 3, assignments of cost. Actually, based on the findings of step 1, step 2, costs are assigned to an activity pool. For an example, we can say human resources cost would be assigned to the indirect administrative or indirect management cost. These pools will each have some contribution to object cost. Okay, step 4, calculate activity rates. Initial analysis may direct labor hours, indirect support labor. These activities must be assigned a value in real currency. All weightings must be added in this step. For instance, we can say a production labor hours should be in terms of weighted labor hour, including benefit costs. And step 5, assign cost of cost objects. Once activity cost, pools and rates are identified and clearly defined, the next step is to assign them to cost objects. Objects are generally defined as the results offered to a customer. Actually, in both sectors, that manufacturing and non-manufacturing environments, their products should have some sellable value to compare to the assigned cost. Okay, then last and final step number 6, prepare and distribute management reports. Once ABC costing analysis is complete, the cost data should be placed in a concise and coherent manner for cost, object and process owners. This communication of costing analysis is critically to justify the cost of the analysis, as we know that it is not an inconsequential cost. Okay, now basis of ABC. There are some bases on which we can calculate activity based costing. Actually, this activity based costing is different from traditional costing system. Actually, we must follow some bases like from cost pools, identify activities, map resource cost to activities and define activity cost drivers. Cost pools, number 1, from cost pools. Cost pools means a series of costs that can be coherently linked with each other, and there will be the one head. Under that cost there will be many cost items. Number 2, identify activities. As we know that ABC costing is based on activity, so identification of activities is very important for this method. Map, number 3, map resource cost to activities. Actually, what will be the cost for the production and how can we trace this cost, and what will be the total cost, and what will be the map of incurring this cost. All things should be considerable in these steps or in this basis. Okay, number 4, define activity cost drivers. Okay, so here we may select a cost drivers from which there will be subsequently same series of cost under cost drivers, and from that cost drivers we can also find out the activity. Okay, okay, next is methodology of activity based costing. Methodology of ABC focuses on cost allocation in operational management. Actually, it helps to segregate fixed cost, variable cost, factory overhead cost, and the split of cost helps to identify cost drivers if it achieved. Direct labor and materials are relatively easy to trace directly to products, but it is more difficult to directly allocate indirect cost to products. Where products use common resources differently, some sort of weighting is needed in the cost allocation process. The cost driver is a factor that creates or drives the cost of activity. For example, the cost of the activity of bank tellers can be ascribed to each product for measuring how long each product transaction takes at the counter, and then by measuring the number of each types of transaction. For the activity of running machinery, the driver is likely to be machine operating hours, that is machine operating hours drive labor, maintenance and power costs during the running machinery's activities. Next topic is refining a costing system. A refined costing system reduces the use of broad averages for assigning the cost of resources to cost objects such as jobs, products and services. Okay, and provides better management of the cost of indirect resources used by different cost of objects, no matter how differently various cost objects use indirect resources. So this is actually a new form of a costing system, and we can defining it in a different ways. Okay, next topic is reasons for refining a costing system, and here there are three reasons: increase in product diversity, increasing in direct cost, and competition in product markets. So number one, increase in product diversity. As we know that the growing demand for a customized product has led companies to increase the variety of products and services they offer. Number two, increase in direct cost. The use of product and process technology such as computer integrated manufacturing, in briefly you can say CIM, and flexible manufacturing system FMS has led to an increase in indirect cost. Actually, a decrease in direct costs, particularly direct manufacturing labor costs. Number three, competition in product market. As we know that markets have become very competitive day by day with the advent of modern technology. Managers have felt that the need to obtain more accurate cost information to help them make important strategic decisions, such as how to price products and which products to sell and which products have mass demand in the market. Next topic is guidelines for refining a costing system. So there are three main guidelines for refining a costing system. We delve more deeply into each in the context of any company. Number one, direct cost tracing. Number two, indirect cost pools. Number three, cost allocation basis. Actually, number one, direct cost tracing. Identify as many direct costs is an economically feasible. Number two, indirect cost pools. Expand the number of indirect cost pools until each pool is more homogeneous. Number three, cost allocation basis. We use the cost driver, the cause of indirect cost, as the cost allocation base for each homogeneous indirect cost pool. Okay, thanks for watching the video. From today it is up to, and next we will continuing the chapter up to this. Thanks to all.